Welcome back. Let's get started with our camping project. So first of all, we're going to start with a new project and we'll use flat terrain. It's camping, so the grass will be appropriate. Let's open that up. And here we go. We've got a fresh new project for us to start with. So let's begin by clicking on File and then Save to File. And so far we did section 1, section 2, etc. You might have them all jumbled up in your basic course here. However, let's make a new folder in here called Camping Project. So everything to do with your camping project from now on will go into here so that we have all of our game files together in one spot. Alright, so we will call this camping, and to give it a version number I'm going to use 0.1. That will be my first version, and then every time I make changes or are finished. Now it's a good time, say you've just made a pickup and you can see that it works. That's when you want to save the version or increase your version. You want to save it when you have finished a section of work and everything is working. Then you increase your version before you start something new. That way, if something goes wrong, you know that the last version everything was working correctly. Okay, so that's important because it's very frustrating if you just charge along and don't have some sort of versions. It can cause you a lot of rework. Okay, so we're going to save that as camping 0.1. Next, we want to publish it. So we'll publish to Roblox, and we're going to give this a new place all to itself. Camping game. Alright. Simple game. Also a simple camping game where the player builds a fire. Okay. And we can leave all the rest of that stuff as it is. Click on Create. And wait for it to do its thing. Yes, it's successfully published. Let's close that up. Don't worry about making it public or anything just yet. We'll come back to that later. Alright, so let's clear my output down the bottom so we've got a nice clean workspace. To get started with, we're going to be making use of, well, we want to know which players are coming into the game, and we're going to have variables, and we're going to have a leaderboard and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to start by creating what's called a main script. So to begin with, click on Server Script Service over on the right, click on the plus and find Script. Okay, so type script in here if it doesn't come up here. And we're going to rename this to be main script. Right, so this is going to handle when our players enter the game. So we haven't covered this yet, but this is how to do it. All right, so first of all, we type in game.players. Okay, so we're looking in players, and we're going to say player added. Now this is an event, so when a player gets added to the game, so even if the game is running and a new player comes in, this event gets triggered. Okay, then we want to connect a function to this, so we use the colon connect, and we're going to put in a function and pass them the player. Alright, because that is what this event, okay, it has its own argument and it happens to be player. Alright, now we're also going to want to know about the character. Remember, the character is the individual instance you see running around in the world, and we can get that inside by putting in another function in here just like this one, only we're looking for the player dot, now you won't get any help here, but character added, same process, connect, whoops, okay, function and character. So in here, this, when the player gets added, okay, there might be some time or lag between when the character actually appears and when the player comes in. We use the player object to do different things as we do with the character. So what we're doing is covering both of these, and all of our code will go inside here to get started with. All right. So to begin with, we're going to set up a leaderboard that will handle anything we need to display on the screen, so you can keep track of what's happening. Okay, so to do that, we need to do this code exactly as it's written. So local leader stats equals, all right, so most of the time you can create your own names for variables. However, this is a special version or variable that Roblox uses to display things on the screen. So we're going to create a folder, all right, called leader stats. So the way we do that is we say instance, which means create something, dot new. So we want a new instance, and what is it that we're creating? Well, we want to create a folder. All right, so a folder is going to hold all of our information. Next, now we've got this object, so we've created, imagine we've created a folder, we want to give it a name. So leader stats dot name equals, and we just call it leader stats. Okay, so that's how we refer to it. Now imagine we've got this folder and we need to put it somewhere. Well, because we're creating one for each player, we want to make each player the parent of this folder. Okay, so we say leader stats dot parent equals player. Okay, so just so you can get your head around that, let's save this, okay, and we'll publish it. And I just want you to test the game. So when it's running, we've got our character in here. Nothing's showing up here because we've got nothing to display just yet. However, if we look in workspace, we have our character which has come in. Nothing has changed in there. Okay, but if we look in players, you'll notice if I click on my player and expand him, we now have a folder in here called leader stats that wasn't there before. And this is where we're going to store all of our variables to do with the player as they're playing the game and they progress. All right. So let's stop our script there. Now we'll leave this video here, and we've begun this. We're going to be adding much more into this. But in the next video, we're going to begin by creating a log pickup so that the player can collect it. All right, so I'll see you in the next video and we'll create that log. All right, I'll see you there.